Hi, good morning. This video serves as an overview for SANSCalc version 2. Right, so basically the interface has changed slightly with the database tools where you open and save information. Then next to that is the building related tools, and that's basically when you add buildings, put it in zones, etc. Right, and then also the application button, we've added certain information like the company details that you could add that obviously will translate and transfer to the reporting once that's initiated. Right, here you can add the company name, you can load an image and then just save that. Right, we've also added recent databases so you can access information very quickly. You don't have to browse to those areas. Okay, so if I now go and open one of these projects, and just to show you briefly what we've added. All right, so I've moved away from, you could have also said open and then browse to it, or you could have created a new database and then gone and said, all right, create a new building, and then adding different stories. Right, at this stage, I've got information on the project, and I've created a building with 2 stories. That building is located in a certain zone which you can adjust. It's certainly or it's orientated a certain way, and it's got certain occupancy. Right, these are just drop downs that you can select from, or there's a little map that you can pick. Right, then also the area you can add. There's 2 areas. One is the one excluding the vertical elements, i.e. the internal walls, and the one is including those. Right, okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just look at the fenestration part, which is basically if I click on a story, because it's story related, if I click on the building, all the other modules have been added. That's basically building related. Right, I'm going to focus on the fenestration now, and basically here you can add stories, obviously right clicking on and deleting them or editing the name, so you can also edit the building. Right, with regards to the fenestration, you would add certain rooms, and it's basically just adding an element and then typing in the information. The conductance, the allowable conductance and solar heat gain gets calculated based on the area and the climate zone. Right, then your fenestration elements, we just separated it into windows, doors and curtain walls or glazed walls, and each of those just get a mark, it's a unique identifier which you can cross-reference your drawing plans with. Then the physical height and the width of the window element that generates the area. If you need or if you have an external shading device that would block solar radiation, and if it blocks it 100% of the time, you can put in the value of 100. Tooltips explain each of these columns in detail. Right, then there's a G and a P value, which then gets translated into the pH, obviously via the H and the height difference or influence with G. Right, then you add the orientation of this window element, glazing type, and the rest will get calculated automatically. Right, typically what you do is you work from the left through to the right to make sure that the values update on the right hand side. Right, once that's done, you would be ready to generate the natural fenestration report. If however you want the mechanical one, you can just add facades, giving them a unique mark as well as a unique facade number. This facade number translates or gets used to link the windows with. So if you've got a window that's north facing, and it's located in a wall called N2, you would link the window to the wall called N2. That N2 is basically set up in the facade areas. Right, that's used obviously for the mechanical fenestration calculations. Right, then moving over to the building related modules, we've got services, basically lighting and hot water. Lighting, basically just you add elements, basically the wattage of those elements, and then the occupancy of those elements is related to the area at the top there, which you select the occupancy of the building. That translates into the total wattage, and if you click on the heads up here, it gives you certain allowables. These allowables are calculated based on the area and such, and then if those are within the allowables, then it should be compliant. This is just a heads up to keep you updated of what has happened. And yeah, right. You could also export these settings into an Excel document as or PDF as supporting documents to your report. Similar, you could have also exported all these elements going to the export, and it'll just beef up your report even more. Right, just going back to the services, that's lighting and power. Just switch those two off. And then also hot water. This basically just calculates the 50% of the hot water that needs to be supplied by non-renewable resources or green resources. Right, and basically that's related, the number of people is related to the occupancy and the floor area, and then the building class. Right, so if I select the building class here, and I move over to the right hand side by clicking tab, it then just updates those values. Right, then floor, basically the ground floor area, there's a 500 division, so if you've got more than 500, certain requirements differ, and basically you just tick the objects that you need or that your floor is related to, and you click save at the bottom. And then next to that is your external walls, basically the construction of your walls, and you get certain requirements. Roof lights, you can have more than one roof light, basically giving the outside opening sizes, and that serves a certain room. These rooms are linked to the fenestration rooms that you can add, or that you have added, or you can say, right, I want a custom, and then you add custom values, areas and such. That then translates into a room area percentage, which in turn then is used afterwards with regards to the shaft index, and then the required solar heat gain and U values. Right, then if I move over to the roof assemblies, basically that is just selecting the roof assembly used, as well as the ventilation and the basic construction. Right, once you've selected those, you can select the generic insulation. That generic insulation, if you select it, will then translate into the thickness that's required of the insulation to be used. Right, going into the air filtration module, basically the air infiltration, you again just select from the drop downs, and you could also, if you don't have that element, select a none, obviously giving you no requirement in that regard. Right, basically once all of that's done, you can go and save your project. However, if you do click on the report area, it does save it in the background as well. Right, once you have saved that and gone to the report area, you can select the building that you need to have the report done with, and you can zoom into specific areas, or through the little left and right arrows to scroll through each page. You can also go to a preview and to see how it will print. Obviously you can go and print it, or then export it to various formats. Right, okay, so that concludes the overview of SANSCalc version 2.